Okay, so this is 6.5, you guys, okay? We're going to learn some more rules. We're going to condense and convert, and like I said, I don't think this is going to take you too long, okay? Lesson today, lesson on Wednesday, quiz on Friday, okay? All right here, what I want you to do is I want you to write the word memorize out here, okay? So there are some more rules that you have to know. You guys, and I'm telling you, I know I've said this 15 times, I'm going to say it 100 more times. With logs and exponentials, if you know the rules, it's easy. You start getting confused when you don't know the rules, okay? Log base a of 1 is a 0. Off to the side, right over here, I want you to put EX, example, and I want you to put log base 4 of 1 is 0. And then I want you to put log base 16 of 1 is 0. And then I want you to just do ... We could write it all day long. Okay? Log base anything of 1 is a 0. As long as that guy is bigger than 0, which we're not going to worry about that much. We'll talk about that later. But anyway, it's always a 0. Why? Because look, if you convert it, you guys, look, you write the a down. You raise it to the other side, which is a 0, is equal to 1. And that's true. A to the 0 is always 1. So the log base a of 1 is always a 0. Okay? This one right here, rule number 2. Put a little EX right there. I want you to write log base 7 of 7 is a 1. And then I want you to write log base 23 of 23 is a 1. And then I want you to go ... So if those numbers match, base 7 of 7, base 23 of 23, if those numbers match, it's always 1. Okay? Why? Look, write your a down, raise it to the other side, which is a 1, is equal to a. It's because a to the first is always a. Okay? Okay, look at question number 3. See that exponent right there, you guys? I want you to pull it down in front. So everybody write n times log base a of a. Everybody in the room, tell me what log base a of a is equal to. What is that? 1. And 1 times n is n. Okay, so that's how you figure it out. Just basically, guys, if you have an exponent, pull it down. That's kind of what that rule is saying, and then see what you're left with. Okay, this rule right here is the only rule that I don't really have a way to walk you through it. So we're just going to write a couple of down. Everybody write 7 raised to the log base 7 of 2x. And I want you to put that 2x in parentheses. The 2x doesn't have to be in parentheses, but I like to, just because if what you're taking the log of is complicated, I like to just make it clear. So if this number is raised to a log and the bases match, then your answer is always just whatever is right there. So your answer would just be 2x. Okay, so this guy, a raised to the log base a of n, your answer is right there, which is an n. Okay, okay, look right here for a second. Could 2 to the third, you don't have to write this down, could 2 to the third ever be equal to 2 to the fourth? Talk to me. No. So if they told you that 2 to the x was equal to 2 to the fourth, then you would know x has to be what, everybody? 4. So this is the same idea over here. So everybody write down log base 2 of 4 is equal to log base 2 of y. Well, the log are exactly the same, and they both have the same base. So therefore, I know y must be what, everybody? 4. Same idea. Okay? That's it. Okay, so let's start using those rules. Okay? Question A. See that exponent? I want you to pull it down. So everybody write x times log base 3 of 3. Tell me what log base 3 of 3 is, guys. 1. So 1 times x is x, and that's your answer. Could you go straight to the answer, x? Yes, but I really don't want you to, because I really need to get into your brain. When you have an exponent, pull that guy down. Okay? Okay, question B, there's literally no work to show on this. What's the answer, everybody? Just 7, because this 5 is raised to the log of the same base. Those match, so your answer is just a 7. Okay? Okay, part C. ln. Everybody freeze right here for 2 seconds. Everybody gets all freaked out about ln. ln is not scary. It's not any scarier than this, like log base 4 of x. Is that scary? No. ln is exactly the same as, tell me, log base e. So isn't ln a log? Yeah, it's log base e. So this is just log base e of e to the 3x. Now hopefully you look at that and you're like, okay, I have an exponent, I got to pull it from front. So everybody write 3x times log base e of e. What's log base e of e, everybody? 1, and 1 times 3x is 3x, and you're done. These are so quick and so easy as long as you know the rules. You just have to know all those rules. Who says, I get this, I get it? Okay, let me see, show me. Okay, great. Okay, question D. ln is log base e. I like to write it as log base e, at least when I'm doing it with you, so then you can see more clearly, right? So everybody write log base e of e. See that e to the 4th that's on the bottom? I want him on the top. I want him on the main level. So when I bring the e to the 4th up, it becomes an e to the negative 4th. Tell me with one word what I should do now. You know what I say? Exponent. Pull that exponent down, right? So you have negative 4 log base e of e, which is equal to what, everybody? Negative 4. This is so easy, right? Next one. Nothing to do. What's the answer?
3.
It's just 3. Everybody write this down. E to the log base e of 3. When you're doing this on your homework and your quizzes and your test, you really have to write it as log base e? No. But I want you to see it. So e raised to the log base e, the answer is just 3, and you're good. Yes, sir?
Will we ever be marked if we write log base e instead of ln?
No, no. They're the same thing. And honestly, I bet 85% of the time, I'll take an ln and write it as log base e, just because I think it's easier if you guys can see that. So no, you would never, okay? Okay, question A. If log base 6 of x is log base 6 of 17, then x must be, tell me, 17. Very easy. Hey, I know this is random. Everybody stop. It's probably not good for me to do this, but I'm doing it anyway. I'm kind of daydreaming, but you have a little bit of time Tuesday and Wednesday morning. And then you're going to come to class on Wednesday, and between Wednesday and Friday, you're going to be a little bit stressed out because you're going to have to do assignment 6-6, and you're going to have to do the review for the quiz, and you're going to have to go through the workbook. So you're going to have 3 hours of homework between Wednesday and Friday. Okay, so why don't you guys go through the workbook before you come back to class on Wednesday? And the pages in the workbook that you would go through would be lessons 6-1 through 6-5. So if you go through the workbook before you come back on Wednesday, then between Wednesday and Friday, all you have to do is assignment 6-6 and the extra credit, because you will have already gone through the workbook. Who says, I understand what you're saying? Okay, think about that. Okay, this one right here, question B, the answer is x equals, what is it? 1 is correct. Yeah. Okay, grab your calculator. If I'm going too fast, let me know. People complain, you go too fast, and then I say, well, why don't you tell me? Because if it's too fast, I don't know, unless you tell me. Okay, so if I start going too fast, let me know. Everybody hit log 32, close it off, and hit enter. I never put my my answers in decimal form unless what? Unless they tell you, right? So let's put 4 digits right here. Okay, so this is approximately 1.5051. Okay, you guys look at question B. It looks very different than question A, right? You've got 16s and 2 instead of 32. But look, log 16, close it off, plus log 2, close it off, hit enter, and you get 1.5051. It's exactly the same, it just looks different. Question D looks different as well. right? So everybody hit 5, log 2, close it off, enter. You get exactly the same thing, 1.5051. Okay, look at the next one. Log 64, close it off, divided by log 2, close it off, enter, and you get, I think I did something wrong. What did I say? Oh, divide. Oh, does anybody know why I'm saying divide?
Because you do the numbers divided by each other, or you multiply them by each
When you subtract and you condense, you divide. I'm getting a step ahead of myself, so I'm dividing because I'm, yeah, that's what happens when you do math all day. That's what happens. Okay? Okay, so everybody look at this. They are exactly the same thing, but they all look different. Okay? You just follow the rule of logs and you can just write it in a different way. Okay? All right, 3 more rules. Okay? Everybody off to the side, write, memorize. Okay? On the left, I want you to put the word condensed. Condensed soup. I don't think you guys make condensed soup anymore. When I was your age, I would. So you get like Campbell's soup, right? And you want to make it, so you put it in the pan, but it's condensed. So what do you have to do? See, you guys don't know. That makes me laugh. That's a generational thing. I heard a couple of people say it. You have to add water to it because it's condensed in. Who had no idea that's what you did? That's funny. You know how your mom cooks with cream of mushroom soup? You guys know that? That's condensed. It's like squished in. Like the water's gone from it, so you have to add water. Whatever. Condensed means squished together. Okay? On the other side, I want you to write expanded. That's funny. That makes me laugh. I need to tell my friends that are my age that you guys don't know what condensed soup is. Expanded means like if you expand a balloon, it gets bigger, right? So expanded is big and condensed soup is squished in. Okay? So product. You guys know product means multiply, right? So everybody write log base A of BC. And I'm telling you, if what I'm taking the log of is even remotely confusing or complex, I always throw a parentheses around it. There's no harm in doing that. So if they're multiplied and they're squished, then when I expand it, what do? Do you guys know? Do you remember? You add them. So it's log base A of B plus log base A of C. The reverse is true. If they're added and they're expanded and I want to squish them, I multiply. So you can go from right to left or left to right, okay? Quotient means the answer to a division problem, right? So it's this, log base A of B over C. That's squished together. By the way, up above condensed, write this down for me, okay? Put right, and then in quotes put log 1 time. If something is fully condensed, you're not going to put log somewhere else. It's just 1 log, okay? So if those are divided, when I expand, does anybody remember what you do? You subtract, yeah. So it's log base A of B minus log base A of C, okay? The power property, you guys already know. If you have log base A of B raised to the C power, to have that fully expanded, you have to pull that exponent down in front. So that would be C log base A of B. Okay, so fully expanded means you don't have exponents, you pull them down in front. Okay, you already knew that one, that last one really. Okay, here we go. Question 4. They're condensed. They're squished together. Everybody stop right here for 2 seconds and I want to make sure you understand this. Look, I'm going to write log 3 times. 1 for the 2, 1 for the x, and 1 for the y. They are completely separate from one another, okay? And since those are multiplied, when I expand, I add. So this is going to be log base 2 of 2 plus log base 2 of x plus log base 2 of y. Now normally that would be the answer, but there's one thing we can do. Can anybody see it? Which is what?
1.
Log base 2 of 2 is a 1. So you have to write it as 1 plus log base 2 of x plus log base 2 of y, like that. Okay, everybody look at question B. First of all, if that were me, I would never write it like that. I would definitely throw parentheses around it. Can you guys tell me how many times I'm going to write the word log?
3 times.
3 times. 1 for the 4, 1 for the x, and 1 for the z. Everybody freeze for 2 seconds. Okay, freeze. You can make this easy, or you can make it hard. And I know you want to make it easy, right? So all you have to do is this. If it's on the bottom, the sign is a negative. So I'm going to write log 4, which is going to be a positive. The x and the z are both going to have negative signs because they're on the bottom. So the answer is just so easy, guys. Look, it's log base 3 of 4 minus log base 3 of x minus log base 3 of z. Literally, you're done. Okay, I know what you're going to say because I'm a mind reader. This is what you're going to say. You're going to say, why is the z a negative? Because when you multiply x and z, you're supposed to be adding those. So why is the z a negative, right? Isn't that weird how I can read your mind? She just shook her head and was like, yeah, that's exactly what I was going to say. I know. Okay, so let me explain it to you. So I'm going to explain it one time. And then you know what I want you to do? I want you to just trust me. Bottom, negative, top, positive, done. Like easy. Okay? So if you want to write this down, write it down. If you don't want to, you can just watch. Okay? Log base 3 of 4 minus log base 3 of x times z. Right? Because if they're divided, that means subtract. Now I have to take the x times z and I have to add those together. Right? But see that negative right there? It affects both of them. So you have to go log base 3 of 4 minus parenthesis. Now expand those two and they're added. So that would be log base 3 of x plus log base 3 of z. You with me, honey? And now when you distribute, it changes both of those to negative. Okay? So you know what you can do? Look. Make your life easy. Bottom negative, top positive, done. Okay? Question C. How do I expand this? It's so easy. What do I do, everybody? Pull your 3 down, right? So it's just 3 times log base 2 of x, and you're done. Okay? Question D. I want you to add parentheses around all those things. Every single person, there's over 30 of you in this room. How many times am I going to write log? 3 times. 1 for the x, 1 for the y, 1 for the z. Okay, so this is log base 3 of x to the third plus log base 3 of y to the second plus log base 3 of z. Everybody listen for a second. 58% of your midterm was all or nothing. And it was worse than multiple choice. Because multiple choice means you figure it out and then you circle it. But yours was worse than multiple choice because you had to write it. And if you left off like some little U or something, you lost everything. So if this were on the all or nothing part of the final, and if it was like a 4-point question, you would get nothing for that answer right there. Okay? What's wrong? Your exponent, right? So now we have 3 log base 3 of x plus 2 log base 3 of y plus log base 3 of z, and you're done. Okay, that is fully expanded when that exponent comes down. Okay, this one right here. Tell me how, this is weird because this is ln. But I don't have to panic because an ln is a log. It's the same thing. It's just log base e. So just keep writing it as ln. How many times am I going to put ln on my paper?
3.
3. How many of those 3's will be negative?
1.
1. Which one?
X.
Why?
Because
It's on the bottom. This is a breeze. You just have to know the rules. So this is ln y to the second plus ln square root of z minus ln x. Now, I'm going to take that square root of z, and I'm going to get rid of the square root, because I know the square root of z is the same thing as, talk to me, z to the 1/2. Is my answer done?
No.
No. What do I do? Just one word. Exponents. Yep. So 2 ln y plus 1/2 ln z minus ln x, and I'm done. You guys, I'm telling you, logs are not hard. They're not. It's just like this. It's just like manipulating things according to the rules. That's all you have to do. Okay? All right. Now we're going to go the other way. Now it's written all out, and now we have to squish it together. You guys, you're going to go in exactly this opposite order of what we just did. So tell me the first thing to do. What was the last thing we did on the other ones? Pull those up, right? So it's going to be log of x to the 1/3 plus the log, in parentheses, x minus 3 to the 5th. But see the log to the 1/3 power? I'm not going to write it like that. I'm going to go right to the next step. Log to the 1/3 is the same thing as what? Cubed root, right? Cube root of x. Now those are added, so I'm ready to squish them. I'm only going to put log one time. If they're added, they're going to be multiplied when I squish it. So it's the cube root of x multiplied by x minus 3 to the 5th. Add brackets around it, and I'm done. Yes, sir?
Why do we add brackets?
Yeah.
You don't have to. I would never mark it wrong. But if I was taking like the log base 2 of x, it's not complicated. But then when you start adding more things to it, I just want to be very clear to whoever's reading it that I'm taking the log of all that stuff. You don't have to. You don't have to. If you didn't, it would be fine. Hey guys, listen for a second. I feel like you guys need an explanation. Look right here, because I got a few funny faces for a second. Everybody look right here. If I have the cube root of x squared, that is the same thing as x to the, tell me. You see, I think this is not as smooth as it should be. You write down that exponent, which is a 2, over that little number, which is a 3. Let's do another one. What if you have the 5th root of x? That's the same thing as x to the, talk to me. Inside exponents a 1 over little number 5. Let's do one more. The 4th root of m to the 3rd. That's the same thing as m to the, talk to me, 3 over 4. I feel like some of you better write that down. Okay, let's come back over here. Step 1, pull those up as exponents. So you have the ln of x minus 4 to the 4th minus the ln of x squared. Now I'm ready to write ln just one time. Since they're subtracted, I know it's going to be a division problem. The guy that has the negative sign is going to go on bottom. So the x to second goes on the bottom. The x minus 4 to the 4th goes on the top. And there's my answer. Look what some people do. If the directions say condense, and your friend writes that down, you know the second you look at it, they're wrong. How do you know that? They wrote ln twice. You're only supposed to write ln once, so it looks like that. Yes, sir?
Why do you put brackets instead of parentheses?
Okay, so whatever. Yeah. It's really not even necessary. I just like to be really clear because I think it gets complex, and I feel like if I add something, it's better. And you know actually why I did, to be honest, I'll answer your question, because I've already got parentheses in here, so I'd be doing parentheses, but you know, don't worry too much about that. Okay, here we go. Pull those up as exponents. Okay, so I'm going to write this as log of, can somebody go right to that? Square root of x, right? X to the 1/2 is the same thing as square root of x. Plus the log of y to the 4 minus the log of 4 minus the log of p to the 6th. You know what? I'm gonna throw a little curveball at you. Look right here. I'm changing the problem. Make that a negative to begin with. So then that's a negative right there to begin with. Okay? Don't freak out. It's no more difficult than the other ones. You just write your log, Anything that has a negative goes on the bottom. Anything that has a positive goes on the top. So the square root of x has a negative. Throw it on the bottom. The y to the fourth is a positive. Put it on the top. The 4 has a negative. Put it on the bottom. The p to the sixth has a negative. Put it on the bottom. So you have a square root of x. You have a 4 in front of that, and you have a p to the 6 like that. So even if your negative comes at the beginning, who cares? Because, look right here, just really fast so you understand. This right here, you don't have to write this down. That is the same thing as log of y to the 4 minus log of 4 minus log of p to the 6. You could take that guy and write him at the end. The order doesn't matter. You can mix it all around. So negative bottom, positive top, done. It's easy. Yeah.
Does it matter which order the?
No. It's typical to put the 4 in the front, because if you had 4x, it would be weird to write x4. You know what I mean? So typically the number goes in the front. Okay, everybody good? Yes, sir.
So why did the 1 hand have a negative?
I just changed the problem.
Okay.
I changed the problem because I wanted to throw you a little curveball. Yeah.
What if like the negative, what if it was like p raised to the negative 6? How about that?
Don't change the sign. Just pull the number. Okay? Is that good?
Yeah.
Okay. Is that good? Actually, I'll have a conversation with you over here. It's going to end up being the same thing, but I don't want to talk about it because I'm going to confuse everyone. So if you want me to explain mathematically why you can do that, I'm happy to do it. It's okay if you do it. I don't want to say it in front of everyone. Everyone will be like, what? You're confusing me. Okay, let's do D. So this is log base 2 of x minus 1 squared. You guys, listen for a second. Do you see how this is log base 2? And do you see how this guy has a variable? So I'm not worried about him. But if this is just a number, the author of this problem is trying to get you to write it as log base 2 of 2, if you can. Because then log base 2 of 2 is going to be a 1, and the log is just going to go away. So my question to you is, can 8 be written as a 2 to the something? It can. So I need to write that as log base 2 of 2 to the third. That's not going to work on log base 2 of x because x is a variable. And then the other one, the next one is log base 2 of 2 to the third. Okay, but now look what happens. Negative log base 2 of 2 to the third, positive log base 2 of 2 to the third, those just cancel out. So now I have log base 2 of x minus 1 squared plus log base 2 of x. Those are added, so when I condense, they're going to be multiplied. So it's log base 2. It's typical to put the x first on a multiplication. It's kind of weird to put it at the end. And like I keep telling you guys, I like to add parentheses or brackets around my answer. So there you go. Yes, sir.
So we would get marked if we didn't simplify fully then?
That is totally good. So you don't have to multiply that whole thing out. Is that what you're asking me?
No, I mean like, sorry, if we did, so like we did make it log base 2 of 2, we just made it log base 2 and then did the rest.
If you just kept messing with it and following all the rules, you would end up where I ended up. Just not as easily. Okay? All right. Okay. True or false? Look at this. We're almost done. Amazing. True or false?
False.
Is that equal to that? It's false, right? Why is it false? It's so easy to say.
We only have one.
They wrote log twice, right? So let's do this. If you're ever given a problem like this, in 1010, they get problems like this all the time, where they have to prove or disprove something. So go like this. Write down what they're trying to get you to prove or disprove. And then say, okay, those are subtracted, so I know I'm going to divide, but I'm only going to divide, I'm only going to write the log one time. So it would look like this. Okay. Still didn't really prove that they're not equal to each other. Can anybody think of a way that I could very easily prove that they're not equal to each other?
Plug the
You're exactly right. Who said it was a guy? Plug in a number. What's a number that we don't want to do?
0.
You don't want to do 0 because then you're going to have the, taking the log of 0 on the bottom. So let's just do this. Let's say let x equal 1. And then you're going to go the log of 1 plus 1 over 3 times 1 is equal to the log of 1 plus 1 over the log of 3 times 1, like that. Okay, so let's figure it out. Do I really think you're going to get something like this on your quiz that I give you, or test? I don't think you're going to see this ever, but who knows. Okay, so this is going to be log 1 plus 1 is 2 divided by 3 times 1 is 3, close it off, enter, and I got negative 0.176 approximately. Do the other side, I'm going to go log 2, close it off, divided by log 3, close it off, enter, and then I got 0.631. So I can tell they're not equal to each other. So I'm going to come back over here and make those all not equal to each other. So is that true or false? That's false. And I did plenty of justification. Okay, 7 is completely review. We already did this. I had to do it because I had to show you how to check. So remember, if that's not base 10, then the way you evaluate it on these calculators is you go log 30 divided by log 4. Literally, that's all you have to do. So just go log 30, close it off, divided by log 4, close it off. You never put your answer in decimal form unless they tell you. So if they say like 4 digits, they've given you permission to write your answer wrong, because literally it's wrong if you round it. It's not perfect. Okay, so that would be 2.4534. This one right here, log 14 divided by log 2. So go log 14, close it off, divided by log 2, close it off. 4 digits would be approximately 3.8074. You can do an equal sign or squiggly if they tell you to round it, it's fine. Okay, look at question 8. Do me a favor and just relax for a second and watch. Evaluate this. If log base B of C is 3.6, log base B of D is 1.2. Okay, look right here. Don't write this, okay? Log base B of B squared times 3.6 to the 4th times, or divided by 1.2. Now, I know we haven't done this yet, but that's wrong. Can anybody figure out what I've done and figure out why it's wrong? Because I'm telling you, this is the #1 reason people miss this problem. Yes, can you please explain to us?
I think so. So in your main log, for like C, you plug in 3.6.
Okay.
C is equal to 3.6. It's the log of B.
See how smart you guys are and so brave? You're exactly right. And you said that so beautifully. He said C is not 3.6. That is not what they said. They said log base B of C is 3.6. I let D be 1.2. This does not say D is 1.2. This says log base B of D is 1.2. You are exactly right. Who understood what he just said? Raise your hand. Okay, yay. So you know what you do? Don't do that. That is the #1 thing people do wrong. Okay? Does anybody have any idea what we could do? What do you think? Say what? Expand it, right? Everybody write expand first. And actually, I want you to put fully expand first. Not just partially expand it, because that's going to mess you up. Okay, I'm going to write log 3 times. So everybody go log base B of B squared plus log base B of C to the 4th minus log base B of D. If you stop on your expansion right here, you're going to miss it. This is not fully expanded. What do? Exponents, right? So now you have 2 times log base B of B plus 4 times log base B of C minus log base B of D. Now look guys, log base B of C is 3.6. Log base B of D is 1.2. What is log base B of B? Tell me that. That's a 1. So now you have 2 plus 4 times 3.6 minus 1.2. Now grab your calculator. So go 2 plus 4 parenthesis 3.6, close it, minus 1.2. Hit enter, and I got 15.2. Is that what you got? Okay, guess what? Done. Done. With 30 minutes left in class. How often does that happen? Never, right?